Going on, guys? Dylan here. Today we'll be going over a ticker symbol analysis on the ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Guys, we are seeing Palantir in a very interesting spot. Right, we have seen the bulls and the bears battle over the very clear $125 levels, but we do have a lot of signs and confirmation that this battle could be over soon and the trend does get depicted. With that being said, we'll remain unbiased throughout the entire video today. Jump into a couple different time frames to get an actionable price target and levels to watch moving forward. Let's get straight into the video, guys. Palantir on the weekly chart, guys, is in a very critical spot. You know, we've been following on the channel. This $125 to $126 level really being the line in the sand where stock price will go in the next few weeks. As when we really just zoom out, a very basic technical analysis technique, where are the sellers at, right? We can spot them here. We did, spot them at these highs before they got broken. And we spot them here, but that level was effectively destroyed. So there's really only one other area within the last year of effective data where sellers are interested in getting into to short the stock, to sell it, whatever, right? And this is right here, guys, keeping it very simple. So to see stock price continue to ascend very slow in this, more or less consolidation effect, it is very interesting, guys. As Palantir is a very volatile chart, right? Look at these big moves up. We have seen consolidation in the past, but typically when we have that, it's to the upside. So we're definitely seeing bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, guys, just being that, each week it seems that, we're going to break out. We're going to break out. Well, nope. We're flushing right down lower. The buyers might get a little bit of sweat in their foreheads, a little bit nervous. Nope. It's a, 180. We're breaking over these highs. Everything looked good, but then we sunk right back lower. Sellers are still not able to take control, even though buyers have clearly been tricked on this breakout. Same thing happening last week, guys. So we're effectively seeing with these two big, more or less hammer candle-esque, this one's just a big wide bar with two wicks on the bottom and the top. But we're seeing effectively two fake breakouts on the weekly time frame. And it's very rare to see that happen twice. So you see stock, once again, the current weekly candle drop all the way down here, right? Pretty far away from that, major level, and then curl right back up. It really lets you know that buyers are willing to step in on these quote unquote dangerous levels, right? Because if this is the area where sellers want to step in, it's the number one data point. Once we start to, curl up, look like we're going to take off, and then pull right back down, guys, that's when energy should shift. And there should be a lot of risk to reward, right? Sellers can get in, they'll set their stop loss right above these highs. And they'll target, who knows where, down here, somewhere over here. That's besides the point. But we see the stock price immediately curl back up, guys. So it is abnormal to see this kind of price action, especially being in a very liquid stock like Palantir with a lot of bullish sentiment. But that's what we've seen, guys. Seeing these ascending wicks continue to press up in this dangerous territory is definitely a bullish divergence sign. If we do flush beneath, right, the sellers will win. And then we will remain short-term bearish over the next few weeks until we can eventually, get that bounce of some reminisce and head up higher. Right, but until then, guys, we're definitely looking bullish. I mean, we've continued to ascend higher. Realistically, stock should have broken out a couple of times, but buyers continue to step back up. The psychology really lets you know who's in control, guys, and that is the buyers. As we clearly see within these wicks and these candles, and also just zoom out, man. Where are the sellers? If we really just, once again, if we just, where are the sellers? They're right here, they're right here, and they're right here. Now, these two zones are taken out. We don't have to worry about them for now. If we do somehow eventually pull back to that zone, should consolidate and head up higher. But, it's obviously very far away. It's pretty likely we never come down there. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But until then, guys, that's hypothetical. And as of now, we're showing a lot of bullish divergence in the quote-unquote seller territory where, stock price is up massively. It should have a little bit of correction. Nope. So definitely got to lean bullish on the Palantir weekly chart, guys. We do expect stock price to continue to move higher moving into the next few weeks. So on the daily time frame, guys, we do have a very interesting pattern, which is currently playing out that you don't see too often. This being a cup and handle formation, right? Starts all the way back here when buyers accumulated on these areas before they eventually won the battle. They had this little squeeze, pop right back up all the way to the top before pulling down, forming that cup-like formation, meeting at the top, right at the top of the trend, being that neckline, the red box, before forming out that handle-like formation. And once that happens, guys, this is where buyers and sellers are waiting. If we can get over this neckline, we've effectively retraced all the way back. We had a consolidation phase building energy for the next movement. Anything over this red box is effectively bullish, point blank period on the daily chart, guys. So to see stock price have this accumulation, once again, we talked about this channel we followed over the last few weeks. We had the clean close over it before being a little bit short-lived, guys. Once again, very abnormal. Within a setup like this, breaking out of the range, coming back down, consolidating on the neckline, being very, very patient, getting very, very thin, and then getting that nice big bar over it. We did see some upside occur after that, stock price rising around $34 before getting snuffed out at that resistance level. We did look over it once, twice, and we had a very nasty reversal. Part to do with news, guys. The overall market kind of had a little bit of a blip. It definitely did affect Palantir, but once again, guys, we came right back down to the bottom, that big level we mentioned over the last few weeks. Over here, when we seen stock price knife down to this level, we made a video, guys. We mentioned that if this level breaks, the sellers will be in control, as we will effectively be lower, right, than the seller area, being that 125, 126 rough zone. We didn't break it, guys, and stock price rose right back up to the box and broke over it. And once again, guys, another fake breakout, plus buyers stepping back in. So very much a back and forth battle, guys. But once again, if we zoom out, the seller's attempt has been a lot more weaker, guys, than the bears. We've seen, sellers take control in this interval period, roughly around 2-3 weeks. And within this whole movement was completely negated by one candle, right? And we've seen this, pretty sizable movement to the downside, touching that big 120 support level once again, being the base where we initially broke out from the handle formation of the cut, right? The handle. And yeah, guys, just seeing that bounce, man, it's all you need to see from the daily. And it's that simple. Sometimes we look at stocks that are a little bit more complex and more to it. Really that simple, guys. Anywhere on the daily time frame hanging over that 126.50 level looks very, very good for the bulls, as that is a spot where we, whipped out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row before breaking out of this descending resistance marker, which we currently closed over on the daily. So as of now, guys, we're not too much over that level. It is a very in the moment conversation, but as a bull, you want to see stock hold over this. It doesn't matter really what the candles show in the next few days. If you hammer candle, doji, it doesn't matter. If you're a buyer, man, you want to see that big red box being held, as this has been the battleground, guys, right? It seems the bulls win, but then the sellers step in. It's very, very grindy though, right? The buyers win. Looks like we're about to take right off. And then once again, swept for an immediate reversal, guys. So very interesting psychology on the daily time frame, but it really does recite right back to the weekly, guys. Gotta lean bullish on the daily time frame. As long as we hang over that, that red box being that $124 to $126 level, we're definitely remaining bullish. And, keep an eye on that $120 low. If we do come down to that, guys, you have seen that's been the spot where stock prices love to accumulate and get these bounces. So if we do break the red box being that $126, $125 level, it would make a lot of sense to come back down to and retest the zone, which has clearly been a very effective level on the hourly time frame, guys. We do see that head and shoulders formation dropping to the floor. Shoulder being here, head being here, and the other shoulder here. Neckline right at that blue line, 126.50, and we did see the flush. A little bit too much too soon, though. We had that red to green reversal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles in a row, knifing down a very sizable measurement. 4 or 5 hours, definitely affected by the overall market and the news. Had an effect on Palantir. But once again, guys, that level we've been watching so carefully has continued to be a very, very strong support for the bulls. Previously being the breakout level to the handle has continued to play out for the bulls, guys. And that's what we see. You've seen the hard reversal almost instantaneously by the bulls, flipping green, right, being right in the middle. When we're in the middle of this box, it's not quite over yet. The bulls need to reclaim, and you did see the close over that box leading into the end of the day. So, as far as the seller presence, we do have this descending resistance marker, which is there. So if we do reject off that leading into tomorrow, keep an eye on this. It's likely that we do continue to play out. We'll be following this on the channel. Maybe we come back down, test it, or coming up and breaking up over. But as of now, guys, holding over this red box, I can't say it enough, guys. It is very bullish for the buyer. Stock could be sitting here doing anything on this reminisce. And, effectively, it's really the best case scenario if we see that squeeze-like effect. If stock can sit here, not really do much for a day or two, and eventually start to curl up with some volume, perhaps maybe giving, a mini bull flag on the hourly time frame, that's incredibly bullish, guys. I do think it is pretty likely, looking at the hourly structure, just being that there's been so much volatility over the last, you know, few days, guys, I think it's pretty likely we see stock kind of simmer out, consolidate. I think it's very likely, but as of now, guys, let's keep it very simple. We want to see that red box continue to hold, being that this is the breakout for the cup and handle pattern, which we do feel has a lot of upside on the channel, guys. Right? If we do drop below that and crush $120, that will be invalidated. But until then, we do have a price target of $150 on the channel. If we take a 50% retracement to the bottom of this, the bottom of the cup all the way to the top, the neckline being that red box, take it all the way to the top, we do feel that $150 psychological level is very, very realistic within the next few weeks and or months, right? This pattern has been forming for, roughly around 4 months, something like that, 4 or 5 months. So it might take a little bit of time, but then again, we have seen volatility in Palantir. It's nothing new for the stock, so it could happen very quickly. With that being said, though, guys, we are seeing a major confluent zone, guys, being in that super, super critical area, being $126 to 124, 125, that rough zone, guys. It's been such a critical spot. And seeing the battle back and forth between the buyers and the sellers, it did appear that sellers might have won that battle until we instantaneously bounced at that level. And it does appear that we're heading higher. So we will lean bullish moving into the next days, right? Until we collapse below that, $124 level. Until then, guys, things look very, very good. If you found any value out of today's video, consider liking and subscribing. We do cover Palantir 1 to 2 times a week. Just depends on how many times you guys want to see the video. Drop your price targets below where you think Palantir stock is going. With that being said, have a good day. Take care and peace.